What's going on, guys? This is Jim, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. Today we're on the Newlands server, and I have to tell you, this week has been really, really terrible for me. We're going to go into that in just a minute, but just wanted to let y'all know that we're going to be going and doing some exploring down in a abandoned mine shaft today. Mainly because I didn't have any time to do any prep work for this episode, and the reason why I didn't have time to do any prep work for the episode is because the host for the host that was the hosting provider that I had for my other server, the Totem server, decided that they were going to shut down all of a sudden and take down all of the Minecraft servers that they hosted without any notice whatsoever, essentially. They ended up taking down about 5,000 servers with absolutely no warning, no real warning or access to the files. So I was very fortunate in that my server is backed up. In that I had a copy of the world file backed up, so I didn't lose our world file. But there were many servers that were not as fortunate, and their world files are gone. And it's just blatantly ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking, where this came from, but they made an absolutely terrible decision. You have to... Essentially, I made contact with a company because I was extremely displeased. I had paid for a year's worth of hosting, and that was about 2 months prior. I don't have a shovel. That was about 2 months prior. Oh no! Oh my goodness. That was not good. So I had paid for a year's worth of hosting approximately 2 months prior. So essentially I lost 8 months worth of hosting money, which for this server came out to be somewhere around $200. And I had prepaid it because most Minecraft servers, you get a discount if you pay for the year in advance, and so that just made sense to me. I'll go ahead and pay for the year, and then I'll get a discount. Well, that didn't take into account the hosting provider doing what they did. So I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter. What year is this? I sent them an email, and I'm like, hey, I want a refund of the 8 months that I lost, because y'all made a commitment to providing hosting. So if you're not going to provide that hosting, that's fine, but you need to at least pay me for that service that you're not providing. And I got a letter back from, apparently this was like their law office that was managing, or that their lawyers or whoever. And basically what it said was that they declared bankruptcy. And apparently in Europe, because this is a UK company, so I shouldn't really say it's Europe, it's UK. But the way that the UK law works, at least in that the way that it was explained to me, was that when a company declares bankruptcy, they pay off. They. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit. I'm actually incredibly aggravated, and when I get incredibly aggravated, I tend to stutter a little bit. I am sorry about that. I am trying to keep myself in check at this point because I don't want to seem angry. I don't want to make this seem like a rant, but I'm actually very, very unhappy about the situation, and I'm mainly bringing it up because I want to make something that I want to make y'all aware of, because y'all might decide to, you know, host a server, and this was something that I really didn't know about, but I feel that it's important that people understand. So apparently, from the way it was explained to me, and I actually spoke with an independent lawyer to kind of have this verified, is that in the UK, when a company declares bankruptcy, they have what they call secured creditors, and those secured creditors get paid first. An example of this would be, like, for example, their data center that they were using. They get paid first. And then apparently, like, if I prepay for a service, so I give them money for something, apparently that makes me an unsecured creditor. And as an unsecured creditor, I only get my money back if there is leftover money after they pay the secured creditors, which of course there isn't. And so I basically got robbed $200 by these people, which is absolutely infuriating and beyond aggravating and everything else, mainly because of the fact that I had that server paid up for a year, not only for the discount, but also because that was one payment I wasn't going to have to make every month, and it made sense to me to prepay it, get the discount, and, you know, go from there. Well, so now I've got no server, and I'm out $200 US with no hope of really recouping that. And I had an intention of purchasing a Radeon 7970, and I'm sorry, not 79, 7990, something like that. I'm sorry, my brain just is not working right now. But anyway, I was going to purchase like a $300 graphics card because I wanted to add some other games to my channel. And it's something that, to be honest, Minecraft is the only thing I've played in a long time. But I used to be, back when I was younger, I used to do a lot of FPS stuff. And so I thought it'd be kind of cool to try to bring some of that back. And just, maybe grab like Battlefield 4 or something like that and just try my hand at that. But now, of course, with everything that's happened, I mean, that certainly puts that video card in jeopardy, because I no longer have that cash that I thought I was going to have. And it's really aggravating. I'm really unhappy about the situation. But from what I understand, there's really nothing I can do about it. And so the only thing that I can do is pretty much just accept it as it is and go with it. But I'm not happy about it. And like I said, I just wanted to make y'all aware of it because I don't want that to happen to y'all. In that, be careful when you're prepaying for things like that, because it can come back and bite you in a negative way, and I didn't think that was the case. I figured if in the unlikely event that something like that would happen where my host were to go and fall apart, that at least I would get my money back for the prepayments, and apparently that's not the way that it works. So yeah, like I said, I don't want people to fall in that same rut, and of course then that meant our server was down. And with our server being down, I want to get that back up immediately. Because, the other guys depend on that server to make their videos and things like that. And so I was like, I've got to get this back up. And so I signed up with another host who was recommended to me by a good friend who I actually really trust. And the problem that I had was someone's been in this cave. So apparently there's a cave that links up to this mine shaft, and someone's already been here. Okay. Fair enough. Let's go this way. Let's light this up too. There we go. So like I said, the server was down. There was no access to the world file because the host literally just pulled the plug and left us to, our own devices, really. Basically, if you didn't have a downloaded copy of the world, you just didn't have a copy of the world. And there were a lot of people that, not only lost money, but lost their entire world file if they didn't have an external backup. And so we had a backup, so we were okay there. But the backup that we had was a couple of days old, so we knew that we were going to lose data. But ultimately we had no choice, so we took our world file and went to another host that again came highly recommended by someone that I trust and respect, and went to set up with them, and it was a mess. So I created an account and created a server, and the server, best I can figure, the server web front end showed the server as created, but the back end never actually created the server. And so I would go into the web portal and I would tell it to start the server. It would say starting the server, but then nothing would happen. It would just sit there. And oh, that scared the stuff out of me. So the server would never start up. So I put in a support ticket. I was smart about this one. I only paid for a month's service. And so put in a support ticket saying, hey, I paid for the server. I've got the and I've got the IP and everything, and everything shows that it's been set up. But the server won't start. I try to FTP into it. I can't FTP into it. It acts like the back end didn't actually create the server. So I submit a support ticket and hear absolutely nothing back from them for 1 day, 2 days. Finally, the second day, I said that's it. I mean, yes, I lost more money. That really sucks. And it really aggravates me too, because it's like I own a business. And I could not get away with the kind of business practices that these people do. I mean, if I provide a service, the service has to work. Otherwise, my customers will not be my customers anymore. And I'm required to issue refunds to them. Well, anyway, so I go and so I'm like, okay, this didn't work. Obviously, because it's been like 2 days now. I've gotten no response from support. And my server still isn't running. So I told him cancel my account, refund my money. Of course, never heard back from him again. And this is a company that is hosting a server that I play on, that the owner says, you know, these are great people, they're good people, they're very responsive, they get back with you within an hour. And I'm just not seeing it. You know, and that might be that admin's, you know, they might be that way with that admin, but they're certainly not that way with me. And of course, my guys are getting angry because, you know, they've been down for 3 days. So I go with another host. This host is a known host. They're in the top 5 hosts in the world, from what I understand. So I'm like, okay, we'll set up with these guys. Did that process, and that went pretty smooth, except there was an issue with the login. Like, I created a password and stuff. They said, well, we'll send you your username. And username never came in. So I had a server, it was set up, it was running, but I couldn't log into it. I couldn't log into the control panel to, like, you know, switch the world file over. So I sent them a support message, and they got back to me really fast. They're like, yeah, you know, that's our mistake. We'll fix that. Cool. Excellent. That's what I want to hear. You know, look, we made a mistake. We're going to fix it. We're going to make it right. Great. I ain't got a problem. You know, quick response. This is good. They got that fixed. We got our world file set up. Log in, and it's like something's not right. Where's all the animals? And we realize there are no animals. We realize that there's no animals on the server at all. And we realize what's happened is, and this is something that I've never come across before, is apparently they run some really strange server settings by default. And one of the server settings that they run by default is, oh gosh, okay, we're okay. I got very concerned for a very brief second. I was like, where did I fall into? And so one of their default settings is that essentially all non-playable characters do not spawn. And if there are any, and apparently if there are any that are spawned, they are immediately removed. Well, I didn't know that this was a setting that was buried in the MyMC Pro control panel. And so I'm trying to figure out, you know, what's going on here, because I mean, something's obviously not right. Oh, that was a mistake and a half. Oh no, I'm gonna die here because I'm stuck in a web and there's a skeleton shooting me. Where is he? Is he gone? There's something walking. I'll hook the wall here. Got him. Good. Okay, creeper, creeper, creeper. Got him. Okay. must end the water. So I'm on the... I open up another support ticket, and I'm like, hey guys, y'all help me out with this already. And y'all help me out already, but I've got another problem. In that my stuff isn't spawning, And so like, okay, yeah, that's easy. It's a server setting. Uh-oh, I'm out of... I'll just do it like that for now. I'm at another rack. So I was like, hey, I've got another problem. Oh, look at this. It just loops back. Okay. Wow, this took me all the way back to the beginning. That's kind of cool. So that just led me out. Awesome. I thought I was getting deep into the system. So I was like, hey, can y'all help me out? Because there's, all of my animals are gone in my world file. And so they reply back and they're like, yeah, it's a setting in the MyMC control panel. So I go and change it back, and that's great, except the areas that were loaded during that time, the animals didn't come back. The animals are gone. So I spent a while in creative flying around seeding those chunks with animals. And when you go outside loaded chunks, all the animals are there. It's just the loaded chunks were missing. So, oh man, talk about stressful. I mean, it's just the last few days have been just so crazy, and I mean, just my head hurts from thinking about it. But I owed y'all an episode, and I definitely wanted to get something out there, and I wanted to, if nothing else, warn you so that what happened to me doesn't happen to you. Don't trust that the server maintains backups. Make sure that you download a copy of your world backups regularly. I was lucky. I had grabbed a copy of the world file a day and a half before this happened. Because hosts can just decide to pull the plug one day and that's it. You're out. By the way, I wanted to show y'all this. This is my tunnel. I finished it off camera from the last episode. Wanted y'all to see what I had come up with. I'm just going to walk through kind of slow and talk to y'all a little bit. But, be aware of that, the fact that they are in control of the server. They're in control of your files. So you need to have a backup that you download on a regular basis, because if I would not have been doing that, we would have lost the entire world file. 100%. The other thing is, be careful about prepaying. I thought because I prepaid the server, it was a smart idea, because it meant that I could get a server at a little bit less cost and I wouldn't have to worry about paying it monthly. Well, what I didn't think about was the fact that if they go out of business, I lose everything. And that's what happened. My chests are really disorganized right now. I'm just, I need to get organized with them again, but I tend to not be. Is understand that money can just disappear. And sometimes there's no recourse for it. Apparently, if the lawyer that I spoke to is correct in it, and I'm pretty sure he is. He's a good lawyer. I've used him before for many other things. He pretty much tells me that at this point, it's not worth trying to fight it. It would cost more to get my money than the money I actually have out, and that just, take it as a learning experience. And I never thought it would be a problem. But as of today, the other server is back up and operational. In the end, server was down about 3 days, and we had to roll the server back approximately 1.5 days from what the state was when it went down. So a couple of people lost a lot of work, which I feel really bad about. Wow, he was in the ground. That's a little bit. Why is he still sizzling? Gotcha. So some people lost a lot of work, and I felt really bad about that. And then when I brought the server up and all the animals were gone, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, are we going to have to do a world reset? And I didn't want to do that. And luckily, I didn't have to do that. But, you know, a lot of people lost a lot of stuff. And then also in the middle of this, as all of this was going on, one of our administrative members decided he was done and just walked away from us. And so we lost a key administrative member on the server. We lost our host, had to roll back the world file, and all of this was on me, and everybody was looking at me to get the server back up, get it operational, find another host, and it was so much stress. I'm happy it's done, but again, I'm doing my best, my absolute best to just hide the anger behind my voice, because I'm just disgusted with this host and a lot of hosts in general, because the history of the servers that I run is one bad host after another, and I don't choose bad hosts. I mean, I choose hosts that are, you know, top 10. I've used almost all of them. Oh, I hate this door. Most of the hosts that I've chosen are top 10 hosts. Are hosts that a lot of people recommend and rave about how they're so good. That, you know, they're really amazing hosts, and they say, you know, they haven't had any trouble and they've had them for years, and, you know, I get excited about them, like, okay, well, let's do this, and then it's just my luck where I just have so much grief trying to keep servers running in the face of all that. Is just really hard. And like I said, for me, I don't understand it. I mean, if I provide service like that, no one would ever use me for what I, you know, for server management that I do, because that is part of my job, is maintaining servers, not game servers, but servers in general, servers that involve business intelligence and things like that. I mean, people wouldn't even use me if I couldn't guarantee some level of operation. Come here, don't run away. Gotcha. But again, I'm sorry for the sort of running around and talking episode. Like I said, I have not had time to prepare anything for this episode, mainly because of the fact that I've been just dealing with this other server for the last 3 days straight. Just trying and thinking about the money that I lost on these people. It's just so aggravating to me. Yeah, I closed this off. I got tired of falling in the hole. And I had a creeper blast go off over here, so it was time to close all this in. But it's still there. It's just hidden underneath the gravel. Alright, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. I should have something good for y'all next episode. But I owed y'all an episode on Thursday. This is going to go out on Friday. And I do apologize for that. I just wanted you to know what was going on so that you would hopefully understand. that I really was making an effort to get something out. It was just I had to make sure that the other server was operational. And as a result, that took up my entire time for the last few days. And of course, you know, I get all of 8 views an episode these days. And I'm not complaining about that. I love each and every one of y'all. I appreciate the fact that y'all come and y'all watch my videos and you comment and you like them. But just being honest, 8 views doesn't pay bills. So I've got to work my full-time job, and at the same time too, I'm trying to get this other server up, make sure that it's up so that these other members of the server can put their videos out and do what they need to do. And at the same time, I was trying to find some time to be on the server to get some stuff set up so that we could record a good episode, and it just fell through the cracks, and I am sorry about that. I owe y'all something better, but that was the best that I could do, and I definitely wanted to get the message out about these hosting providers, that because I felt it was something that y'all needed to know, because it was something that I didn't know. And I don't want to see that happen to y'all. So again, thank you for watching. Have a good one. I'll see you next week, hopefully in a lot better mood. Alright, bye.